in marketing, and so we try to get as much of that additional to help as we can. But we're a regional museum that's trying to go national. Most of our visitation is from Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo, and there are even people in Buffalo that aren't aware that we're there. So it's a lot of that is trying to get people to visit the museum that have a great experience to tell other people, and then we supplement that with traditional marketing the best that we can.
Earl, did you realize when you inducted the ball into the museum that would cause a media heyday?
No, we didn't. I think it was 3 years ago when we inducted the cardboard box. We expected that would get some press about that, and that was, similar things. It was widely loved by the media doing that. Usually we induct 2 toys, and then basically we started to, induct 2 traditional toys, and then something creative like that. And it's always the creative spin on things that gets the extra attention that helps us out.
So how did the Daily Show find out about the ball induction?
We have a public relations team that once the announcement is made, we throw it out on as many news wires as we can. The local Rochester media, the nighttime shows and that will have spots on it, and you just hope it gets picked up. So someone along the line, every once in a while we'll see something like that. And we've had Good Morning America come to the museum and do a short thing for their show. So we do get a lot of national. It's a museum of play, and it's a great place to visit and a great story. And so a lot of times, we'll look into things like that by people watching local media and so forth.
What are the different places that you get your toys from? Do you stop at garage sales, or where exactly do you get the toys?
Some of them we'll buy from collectors. We had a Videotopia exhibit, which was classic video games, and we ended up buying that collection for, I think, $250,000, a collection of over 100 games. So we have a fund specifically for that purpose. And but sometimes we'll get donations. Sometimes we'll buy things on eBay. We have a whole team of curators, and they look for gaps in our collections and different, things they would like to pursue. And then one of our exhibits that we just did this last year that we opened up was comic book heroes exhibit. So we were buying a lot of comic books and things like that for that exhibit. So they have a great job. I wish I had their job because, And I would just recommend that as many things that you can do to distinguish yourself. I think one of the reasons I got the position at the Strawn National Museum of Play was that I was willing to go out and earn my CMA, and they were looking for a CPA. A lot of times you'll see that where they'll prefer a CPA and that traditional type certification. But I put in the extra work and got a certificate in management accounting, and I was able to communicate to them what that was and the differences, and that was very helpful. At one time I had a SPHR and belonged to SHRM, which is a human resource organization, and I did that because at the Allegheny Arc, so much of what we were doing related to personnel, and so when they saw that as well, they liked, they always like someone in business that understands the HR side of things.
How would you say that
organization is structured? Is it more tall or flat?
Well, that's one of the benefits of working for a mid-sized organization is they're all basically flat. So you're always, asked to do different things and be involved in different things. There's a lot of programs or events, and they need everyone to lend a hand. So it's when we want to make a decision and we want to move, it's the board and the president and senior leadership team, and it's pretty flat.
Are you mainly self-funded, or do you guys have a lot of donations and that kind of thing? Or how do you guys?
We're trying to do more. We're trying to do more in the way of development. I thought I was bad luck because as soon as I joined the museum, the stock market crashed and crashed and crashed, and we get about a third of our funding from an endowment that we don't manage. It's managed by a bank, and we try to influence that. They haven't done a real great job for us. We have our own foundation that we use to supplement with that income, and that's a lot more fun to manage, and we have a lot better results there. And then the rest comes from admissions and the food court. I mean, we were able to do some creative things in the food court and make some changes to where this year we'll probably do $1 million worth of business in the food court. But it's always a struggle because there's always something that you're able to improve, and then there's something like the school districts where we get a lot of school kids to come in, and when their budget situations are like they are now, we can't get as many school kids in the door. So it's a constant battle like everything else, trying to get as many resources as you can to do the job effectively.
Anyone else? Another question.
How do you promote the museum
In the local community? I think in the local community we do some nice things. We have a foster care network where foster care families can come to the museum for free. We run a Summer Sun program where Rochester area children can come to the museum for free in the summer. We run special programs for people with disabilities. So we try to do some nice things for the community. And in Rochester, the community is of course very aware of what we're doing. So we don't have to do. We just basically let the community know what's going on at any particular time. Our special event programs and that sort of thing.
The museum is like a museum of play.
Yes.
Is there any kind of educational aspect, and do you use that at all in terms of marketing the museum as a whole?
Yes, we have an education team, and we actually have a preschool on site as well. And the team creates content, and they use the 7 theories of learning, and so that they're very active in that area.
Mr. Johnson, thank you very much. On behalf of the students, we'd